Of all the GR2s I've looked at lately, this one might be the sweet spot. 34 liters, perfect size, shooter, tons of loop fabric. You can totally customize it. And it's the 500D, best fabric in a GR2. And it's slick, awesome. Has a lot of cool features. So we'll take a look at all the GORUCK GR2 shooter edition looks like in this bag and configuration, see if it makes sense. We'll put a bunch of attachments in it, see if it configures well for an everyday carry or weekender mode. Let's take a look at the GR2 shooter slick edition. Let's do it. All right, so this is the GR2 34 liter shooter edition 500D slick. So it's got a lot of descriptors, but it is probably one of the most useful 34 liters out there because it has a ton of unique features that might be the perfect bag for you in an everyday carry in a weekend or travel mode if you need to carry a lot of peripherals in terms of laptops and tablets and you name it. So today I'm going to pull apart the GR2 34 liter shooter slick 500D, show you all the different features that make this bag specifically unique, and they had some available on the website last I checked that were some returns from a pre-order. And so let's dive into all the features of the 34 liter GR2. Let's do it. All right, so previously I looked at the 40 liter GR2 shooter, and I packed it out in a go bag mode and really was presenting it as a range bag slash do everything, just battleship of a bag. And with the 1000D Cordura, it was just a definitely well-made bag, super thick, and just really probably the most durable bag I've ever handled. Now I returned it because it just didn't fit my mode and I didn't really need a go bag of that size, but for most people it might be the one you want. For others, you might want this better size, the 34 liter, which I've become a big fan of the GR2, the 34 liter size, as I use the Kaiden on some trips, and it's the best size. And really when I packed it out, which I did a video of packing it out compared to the 40 liter, and I didn't really see much difference in terms of stuff I could take in the 40 liter. So the way that this bag fits on my back, because it normally fits just the same size as a 26 liter GR1, it seems to be the best overall mix of size and in terms of height and in volume capacity for travel. Now the shooter edition rucks have some very unique features. One being the Velcro on the inside, two being the frame sheet that's on that middle layer in between. So you really get two frame sheets, one in the back and one in that middle layer. Those are the two distinguishing factors. Now the other things that make this bag different is the 500D, so it's not as heavy and it is a more worn in feeling fabric, and it's, to be honest, the 500D is plenty for all bags, and in this bag in particular it saves a little bit of a weight because of all these layers of fabric that make up a GR2. Now the other thing is that Velcro, which when we get in the inside I'll show you the big thing that I did on this one. This one is going to be packed out in everyday carry mode and mostly a medium weekender travel setup because it has tons of capacity. But this Velcro and some brown buffalo attachments and one from Philip Raybach really make this thing whatever you want it to be in terms of customizing it for your unique needs and analyzing or arranging those attachments however you want. So let's look on the outside, and then really the genius is going to be on the inside, but the outside has some awesome features. So let's look at the outside. So the outside of the GR2, this one in particular is the slick. So nothing on the outside in terms of MOLLE attachments, things to hang things off of. So no MOLLE, no patch panel. So if you get a Magna patch, which I don't have a Magna patch, I need to get a Magna patch. How do I order a Magna patch? It's hard to get. But if you had a Magna patch, you could put it wherever you wanted for that occasional look. But I do love the slick look of these bags. Now, if you were going to deck out with scars your most perfect GR2, some features you might want to add. You might want the MOLLE and the patch panel. Fantastic. But you would probably add these compression straps. So that's really why I like this bag versus 500D. First, it's slick, which I like for travel. And then it has a compression strap. So if you were to get a GR2 regular edition, you wouldn't get that frame sheet in the middle, and then you would have to add the compression straps, maybe a handle or MOLLE, whatever. So it's just kind of a toss-up what the best route for the best GR2 for you is. And it might be the 34 liter Slick GR2 because it has some of these compression straps on the features. So that's what makes this bag unique. So yes, compression straps all around, which is a great feature for the GR2 just because you have this multiple compartment. If you're going to use this for everyday carry or weekender mode, you would want to be able to cinch this thing down when you didn't have it completely full just to save the space. You can also use it to carry larger items like I've shown you before. I have a fly fish rod that you can jam in here. So that's again why I love compression straps on these bags. Why this one will probably be the keeper. I know I keep saying I got keepers, but the 40 liter went back. This one, just because 500D side compression straps in that smaller size, is going to be just a overall great bag. And I would hate to dirty up the Kaiden with compression straps because this material is so awesome. I just wouldn't want to mess that up. So really, for a beat around bag, this 500D 34 liter is probably going to be it. The only real negative I have about this bag is I wish they would put the webbing on the shoulder straps. So that's really my only negative about this whole thing, is I wish it had the MOLLE webbing here, just for the fact that I could put a sternum strap. Now there's other ways to do that, just wrap it around. But if I were to do anything, I'd probably send this to Scars, add the webbing here, and probably a side handle. We'll see if I end up doing that. I did love what Scars did with my Heritage ruck, which I showed you pictures of that before. Side handles were awesome, and the webbing on the shoulder straps were also fantastically done. So maybe I'll do that. And it's easy, it's black. They'll always have black. So anyway, besides that, it's got the bomb-proof laptop compartment, which is a standard on the GR2s and GR3s, and of course the GR1. So love that ability. It's not a special edition bag, so it doesn't have the top pocket, which, you know, that's a negative for some, but really you're not getting that in standard edition GR1s and 2s anyway. So that's really it. No bottom handle, no ballistic material in this. It's all 500D all around on the outside. So pretty simple. Front slash pocket, just like every other bag. So that looks great and love it. So that's the outside. Again, pretty simple. And I got these little keepers on the side straps for the compression straps. So that's really cool. And definitely love that. So let's dive into the inside to see really where the genius is on the GR2 34 liter shooter edition 500D slick. All those description words, it's a long description. Let's get to it. All right, 500D and compression straps, which makes this bag really awesome in my opinion, just because you really want that ability to compress this bag if you needed it. So let's look in this front pocket, and the front panel is no different than every other GR2 top access panel, and then a mesh pocket that opens on one side. And that is no different on this same front panel that you would find on any GR2. Same sewn in pocket here. This one is not padded like a padded field pocket, but the ability to put, no kidding, this is a shadow pocket. So I got that in there, and it's got some web pocketing, which is standard for the GR2 sewn in there. This front pocket, in my opinion, so you've seen before if you've watched GR2 videos from me, has this really the Evergoods, and of course it's open because I had to grab some stuff out of there, but the Evergoods Cat 2 liter, or the Phoenix Egg, same thing, both sizes. That's the perfect size for that. Either this or any of the GORUCK field pockets packed out are the perfect size for this front compartment. If you were to add, say, you know, the Step 22. The Step 22 is just a little too thick for this front compartment. It's just a little too deep. Definitely for the bottom section, if you're going to put it in the bottom. Maybe in the middle you could put it in there, and that would be fine. It's going to stick out a little bit more, but it's just, for me, it's a little thick for the front compartment on the GR2s. That's why I typically use field pockets, or like I've said, this is normally my go-to camera and charging. If I only had one, I'd put it on this Evergoods Cat 2. Favorite thing ever. Thanks to JT for hooking me up with that one. Now, and it's even padded when it falls off the table. So the other, what makes the GR2 shooter editions awesome is, again, this loop fabric that's in here and in the main compartment, which we'll show you in a second. So this is where I think what makes this bag awesome. Now, the fact that I have this, like here, this is from Philip Raybock, so just one of the attachments. Of course, it's orange and multicam black, which doesn't fit this bag perfectly, but I do like the little pop of color as you open it up. And it's just an easy high-vis thing to see what's maybe in here. So this is where things could go, your cell phone, maybe some other pocket knives or whatever. And again, I love this little admin panel. And the genius of this is whatever you had in there, you could, if you wanted to, use this a little differently, mount it on the side, and now you have the ability to kind of slide things in from the side, just like you do in a GR2. The genius of these side pockets is you really, no matter how you manipulate the bag, you have quick access to items depending on how you laid out the bag. So there it is. So that's probably how I would put that in there. And I've got another one of these field pockets. I really couldn't find it. But a field pocket with the Velcro might even just go right there. And then you have really, that's a perfect go bag mode. We'll see. Anyway, that's the genius of the GR2 front panel when it comes to everyday carry or weekend or travel mode. It's just because you really have access to all these things and you can just customize however you want that without scars. All right, into the main compartment to see what is going on in this main compartment. And again, the big thing, besides the Velcro loop on the shooter editions, which is sort of kind of an unknown, not widely publicized feature, was this internal frame sheet. So this middle layer has a frame sheet, and that's maybe not convenient for some people in terms of an everyday carry bag. Maybe you wouldn't want that, and it does make a big difference. The bag feels a lot different with that frame sheet in there. Now, the genius of it in my mode is that you can attach things on there and it doesn't flop all over. So in this mode, with this frame sheet, you can put these brown buffalo attachments on here and just have additional ways to store your iPad, laptop, you name it, MacBook Pro. And the awesome thing is it's in the middle of the bag. So you have, even though the back is bomb-proof, and I've never had any issues with things in the back, but if you were really concerned of maybe an iPad Pro, then you would have the front to protect it and whatever's in the back. So you really have it sandwiched in the middle of all these soft items, so it would be totally protected. I've shown you these brown buffalo attachments before. I did a total brown buffalo conceal pack over there. I did a whole pack out of that, but these are these same attachments. You zip them off of there and put them in here, and now you've got the laptop sleeve in the back, so I can put another laptop in here again. And then I can also put this pocket here. This other mod has the ability to put an iPad Pro, some zip pockets, and some other pockets, so you could totally customize this however you wanted. And again, you could totally rip this off, attach it sideways, so you could access your iPad mini from this side. Or you could put this in the front instead of the Philip Raybach admin panel, put it on the side so you could have your iPad Pro. That's probably how I'll use it, because I'm going to get an iPad mini soon. So that's the genius of the Velcro loop fabric on the inside, just because you can totally deck it out with however you want. And that's what makes this whole thing totally awesome. The rest of the bag is just like every other GR2, not totally true. It's got the shooter edition, so I've got some packing cubes in here just to show you how much stuff you can carry. This is just kind of a weekender standard loadout. But the awesome part is, again, the back part has loop with the MOLLE, the Velcro backed MOLLE webbing, so you can, you know, lash stuff in there. For the field pocket, you could loop stuff in there. You could put pocket knives in there however you wanted. I happen to have the other mod from Brown Buffalo in the bottom, because now I have on this Velcro loop fabric the ability to put some other items in there. And this is the little bit wider, taller Brown Buffalo mod, so you could put this sideways. Probably you could put this sideways on the middle layer, and I don't think it's a little too tall for the front pocket. But then again, like, I wouldn't necessarily use that, but you might use this here if you didn't want to have the other attachments for your iPad Pro or MacBook Pro on the front panel. You could put this somewhere else. Just, this is awesome. Just, it's basically two pockets zipped. And then I've got, hard to find but extremely useful if you can find them, this Velcro backed field pocket, which they released a long time ago. I just had this jammed in there so that you could have more options on the inside in terms of removable items and still access them inside. So there you go. That's the inside of this GR2 in 500D. And again, it's got some good features on the outside. So there it is. That is the GR2 34 liter 500D Slick. And again, I packed it out in an everyday carry weekender mode, really in a mode where you can really access a lot of features using Brown Buffalo mods, Philip Braybach, or really any sort of Velcro in panel from Alpha 1.9 or whatever you had, you could put in there and use it. It would be a great addition to this bag. Now the positives are the complete customization that you have, customability, the complete customability. You could customize this bag however you wanted. And that's the real genius of this bag. The fact that it's slick 500D is just a big plus for me. 34 liters is the perfect size, I think, for if you're gonna deck out a bag like this. The 26 liter might be a little small, might be a cool thing if they ever made it, but they don't make it. So the 34 liter is really all we got. The negative is it's a little heavy. So if you look at the weights of these two bags, this one and the Kaiden, which again, it's this X-Pack material, so it's a little bit lighter. This bag with the frame sheets, with the loop fabric in there, and the mods already in it, because I weighed it with the mods, is about 2.5 pounds heavier than that bag. So 2.5 pounds is pretty heavy. This bag, empty, with the mods included, it's about 6 pounds, which is a pretty heavy bag. But then again, you're putting on your back, it's meant to carry stuff, so 2.5 pounds really doesn't make a difference. But when you pull it off the hook, it's definitely, this bag weighs a lot more just because the mods that you put in it and the way it's decked out and the frame sheet, etc., etc. So anyway, fantastic bag, fantastic feature set for probably a bunch of people, and there's still some available on the website, or you can pick them up on the secondary market. But it's the GR2 size shooter editions is what you're looking for. That's the one that'll have the loop. That's the one that'll have the frame sheet in the middle. It'll allow you to completely customize it. Now you could totally use a GR2 34 liter to customize it on your own because you have the pockets, but if you really wanted the advantage of having the loop fabric and the ability to mount those pockets in any way you wanted and completely make it your own, then the shooter edition is going to be for you. It's not just for shooter people, it's not just for firearms gear, it's meant for everyday carry if you ask me, and this is a great bag for that. So there you are. So there you go, the GR2 34 liter shooter slick edition. Fantastic bag in 500D, does a lot of great things, and hopefully you might get some use out of this, maybe pick one up. It was still available on a limited basis on the website, so go check one out. Let me know how you like this bag and how it configures for you by leaving me a comment down below, and otherwise subscribe to the channel so you can see what's going to happen next. Sign up for alerts so you can see the next video that I post, usually on Fridays, and subscribe to the channel so you can see all the genius that's happening on the great outdoors. So let's continue to enjoy this outdoor weather here in Georgia.